At first glance, it looks like a typical a totally different spot where Bashi wants to show us something. Here we learn about three people, Sophia, Jackie, and Noah, and Bashi literally walks us to their graves. Of course, they had to throw in a jump scare with the flashlight flickering. When we walk up to the final grave, Bashi begs us to please put an end to all this, and the main character receives a pixelated tile, an item needed to unlock a brand new area in Benny Bash. But to pull that off, we have to collect all 4 pieces, which means you have to beat every level in the first zone and solve every single puzzle inside the cabin. I'm not even gonna list everything you have to do because I am honestly so sick of puzzles. But if you wanna see all that, go check out Mize's video. Once we gather all the pieces for the Stone Island location, we plug them in and Benny acts super surprised, saying we are going to keep having fun. He asks if we like playing with him, and obviously we say yes because he brags about being so much fun, saying we're really close now and feels like it's finally time. The game starts shifting and Benny forces us to play by his rules now. We have to answer his questions by moving left or right depending on our choice so he can get to know us better and become true friends. So I was answering his questions, just trying to keep him happy as he asked about my favorite colors and hobbies. Everything seemed fine, but I know you guys are wondering what happens if you pick the negative answers. If you tell him you hate him and tell him to get out, he literally just kicks us out of the cabin, unlocking a secret ending saying that even Benny doesn't like you. But that's not how the real playthrough went. The main character agreed with everything and tried to suck up to Benny until Benny drops this weird line saying we didn't read again. No matter what we answer here, the game teleports us to a room with some purple guy sitting there, next to a note from the project lead, Ethan, warning everyone about this highly dangerous experiment. He demands the project be canceled, or else he's quitting the company. Then we watch this purple guy get up, walk over to a phone, and make a call. Suddenly we are back in the cabin, and our actual phone starts ringing. The voice on the phone tells us to open the wooden box, using the code Ethan. The main character does exactly that and finds a blank game cartridge that looks like it's never been touched. So he decides to boot it up and see what's inside. It's a game called eDreams, where we actually play as that purple guy, who is clearly Ethan, walking into the Avernus company where he works. Here we uncover a ton of new lore and notes left by Ethan, showing he realizes their new project isn't just a game, but something completely supernatural. Consumed by fear, he decides to wait until the office closes, grab the basement key, and uncover the truth himself to end this once and for all. That's exactly what plays out in this cartridge, as he grabs the key and heads for the door, but out of nowhere, Benny starts chasing him. We gotta run, and after losing him, Ethan unlocks the door and enters the room where he can finally shut this all down. All he has to do is type the master key into the terminal to delete Benny permanently. But the only problem is, he doesn't know the key. So he calls us in the real world again. He says it's not working. He thought he remembered the master key, but Benny must have changed it, though he thinks he knows where the password is hiding. He begs us to keep playing with Benny. So now it's up to us to somehow track down this master key, because Ethan is counting on us. The main character follows the instructions, boots up Benny Bash, and loads into the second zone where we get hit with new levels and totally new puzzles. The whole time we're just trying to figure out how to snatch this master key, but all we get is a pass to the third zone. Benny reacts by laughing and saying we are getting smarter right before his eyes, claiming he can't believe he found such a fun young friend and that we are getting more and more prepared. Then he tells us we are doing a great job and not to lose faith in ourselves. The main character pushes forward, heading to the desert island location where Benny pops up and says he wants to get a closer look at us. We drop into a level completely swallowed by darkness, where Benny says this is where he lives and spends all his time completely alone. He complains that they made him to live forever, but didn't even bother giving him friends. Right before we get a terrifying close-up of his face. He demands we keep playing while he watches us from behind. The main character finds himself in a cave collecting yellow dots, which Benny claims is his actual home. Right after I grab every single dot, we teleport back to the cabin and get another phone call from Ethan, warning us that Benny has escaped the office and is heading straight for our cabin. We have to do whatever it takes to get that key from him right now. When we boot the game back up, Benny laughs and says we saw our own face, accusing us of confusing his friends, and announces he is coming for us. This is where the game completely shifts gears and we have to speedrun the rest of the levels as fast as possible to unlock the final location. After pulling it off, we enter this crazy Matrix zone where Benny just openly vents about everything. He talks about being dumped, betrayed, and left to rot in isolation. But since he somehow gained sentience, he decided to upgrade himself. He claims he's smarter than his creators, and using their leftover code, he built something way bigger. Now it's time to face his ultimate challenge, because everything we did before was just child's play. Now we are playing levels that Benny coded himself, and the main character only gets 5 attempts. And if you fail, well, you really don't want to know. Every single one of these levels was insanely hard and totally unique. In one, we are bouncing around like Flappy Bird, and in another, we are walking blind in the dark, trying not to fall into the abyss. But after a bunch of tries, the main character actually clutches up and beats it. Benny laughs, saying he can't believe we actually tried so hard and that it was so much fun. He says he knew we'd be playing together forever, and now that we are true best friends, he needs to show us something. Before he takes us away, he wants to show off his personal lab, where he flexes all his projects, the custom code he wrote, and everything he built to survive. He knew they were trying to wipe him out, so he came prepared. But there was one massive thing he forgot. The master key was sitting right there inside his lab, and he definitely didn't expect us to immediately hot swap to Ethan's cartridge, punch that key into the terminal, and wipe him from existence. Benny screams no, and we finally destroy him, unlocking the true ending. Well, sort of. There's a bit more that happens after, but you guys can check that out in Maze's video. So what's the verdict on this game? It's obviously heavily inspired by Mario, but to me, it gave off major Kinito pet vibes too, with the voice, the obsession with becoming your friend, wanting to know everything about you, and all of it. Anyway, make sure to drop a sub to Grimm's socials. This has been Grimm. Catch you guys later while we keep playing.